think it might be ghosts at this point. I do think it could be ghosts. Why are we glitching so much tonight? We never glitch, right? Yeah. Dark Night of the Soul gets pretty spooky. That's the thing. For me, I don't know if it's like this for everyone, but I was walking through the underworld. I was walked through the process of death. I saw all of, not the algorithms, but the analogies that they put throughout everything, and we don't even understand what we're interpreting sometimes when we talk to death because we don't understand where inspiration comes from. And that is the beyond, and that is darkness, and in darkness there is death, but also that is creation, and that's why it's so important to stop thinking of it as a contrasting light and day, and dark is evil, night is light, whatever the fuck, right? It's like looking beyond the stereotypical and understanding the absolute power that can come with it. And that's why night people are a very specific type of person. I think people who work night shift are really probably either very in tune with their magic or very out of touch with the fact that they're very magical. Like if you naturally take to a night shift, there's a reason that you're more efficient at night by the moon when it's quiet. That is witching hour 3 a.m. to 4 a.m. Last call 1:45 a.m. There is something extremely magical about the night. Stars up, moon's out. If you feel you get your work done better at night, like at the oh god, where are you? Last call, like the bar. LOL, you guys, what is that like not a thing? Are we so hardcore Midwestern we don't even realize it? Last call in Kentucky is like 4:45. Anybody want anything to drink? Okay, I'm just checking. Well, but that's the thing. There's a lot going on in the night. So if you find your peace and you find, it's very magical to be led by the moon. Lady again. Lady again. Anybody watching this video better send money. I don't know. She keeps coming up. She keeps coming up. Barmbrack, sweetness and synergy. So work together. Fund it, I get that kind of energy too. Have fun with it, dude. Okay. It feels like the whole part of my lesson, life in general, is for me to speak up. Literally, something I've always had a very hard time with since I was a child. I've always been quiet and reserved about sharing my emotions, and as I got older, the more out of control my emotions were because I was suppressing them. PTSD from an early age is essentially what caused the PMDD that gave me the raging hormone theory we know today. So I got better with my emotions and not necessarily managing them, but understanding them, sitting with them, feeling them, getting used to them, knowing them well, and appreciating the experience of absolute, sometimes hell, but the joys of having a full spectrum. I talk about it a lot, where it's like there's more than just 5 moods, right? So I'm really grateful for being that person. But what is that? Oh, I like that. That's very hot. That's very me. It's almost like too much like a Instagram, Facebook meme, but I really like it. And part of my lesson from all of that is like speaking up, saying how I feel. And so my lesson now is if I speak up, how do people react to it? Because if I'm saying what I need and my needs aren't being met, or I'm saying how I feel and my feelings are being rejected, or if I, continuously do this, it's once again pretty good at giving second chances. It's really hard, right? Because people are like, well, you shouldn't have any expectations. Listen, I ain't got expectations. I got standards. I'm not expecting you to do anything, but I got a standard way of things around here. And so if you're not living up to the standards, it's okay. There's no expectation for you to do that. However, there is a standard that is accommodated by others, by many even. And if you are not one of them, that's okay. If this ain't your season, don't worry about it. I'll be back, or I won't be. It's up to you, really, at the end of the day, right? There's never expectations on these standards, and standards come with boundaries. But you create boundaries, all of a sudden you have standards, and it's like, holy shit, why didn't I have standards before? And it's because you didn't have any boundaries, and you didn't care for yourself or take care of yourself, and et cetera, et cetera. So Let's run the ad before we get interrupted. We'll get back to the shadow self, but that's what all this is. This is the shadow self. Is sometimes looking back hurts like hell, and we'll talk about that in literally 1 minute. Okay, I had to refill my water, but I'm back right on time. Here we are. By the way, I am digging the look tonight. I feel like I'm very much in my masculine energy. I'm feeling quite sexy. I'm not really sure why I don't get any ladies, but ladies, I promise you, I'm your man. Okay? This Buck City over here. Call me Earl, Jack, whatever the f- you like. How you doing? Anyways, can we stop whatever that is? Yeah. You know, I always tell people or remind people as a chronically late person, 222, as I confess this, is that, you know, all timing is divine timing. All of it. If you're late, thank God. If you're early, thank God. If you're right on time, thank God, because you missed something or caught something or was there for that moment, 22222. I believe all timing is divine timing. That's the thing about divine timing, where it's like, do I just sit back and do my thing and ignore it, or do you like go for it? I don't understand who runs the towers of time. It ain't Atlas, I'll tell you that much. But anyways, back to the shadow. There might be an energy of owing someone money or something like that. I don't really fucking know what that's about. Don't get blindsided though. Skull of Darkness. Somebody getting blindsided. I'll be damned if it's me, and damned if it ain't. Werewolf exploring wildness. Getting out there, getting on the road again, if you will. Ghost regret. You regret things you miss. The only regrets in life are the opportunities you don't take, isn't it? Or sometimes you take bad ones, but yeah, there is like, you're really not gonna go. This is your shadow self, though. Let's get through this reading before we decide. And also, like, it's not even October yet. So, come October 1st, you can start making that decision. At this point, it's still Virgo season for another day and a half. Like, you need to chill. You already invested in it, you already agreed to it. You will literally never get this opportunity again. Right? You need to at least finish it. I wish I could get a fucking civility to my face type. Right? I can't even. Bro, I was being such a fucking bitch. I was on the stream like, yo, dude fucking making it obvious that he's blah 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 watching my stream but doesn't text back. And then I was like, okay, just curious. What if I called this number today and it just wasn't connected anymore? And it sure fuck isn't. So I'm like, wow, I'm a dickwad. I'm like, yeah, okay, so maybe we both lost contact and now I come back like the fuckboy in retrograde I always am. Goddamn. And he feeds it just like he always did because he's probably an egomaniac. It doesn't really matter. It's twin flame stuff. Maybe we're not ready for it. Stupid. or maybe seeing the patterns and seeing the behavior and knowing what it is and seeing it for what it is what it wasn't 5 years ago and could be today, or wasn't 10 years ago and supposed to be, right? Stuff like that. Stupid. Felt bad though. I'm an ass. I'm a fuckboy. I realize that. Forgiveness, reducing the burden. I gotta forgive myself for being fuckboy. That's why I have no women in my life, right? That's why I fucking feel like I'm serving up karma for shit I don't even do. Feel like everybody's out to get me sometimes, and then it's like, well, obviously it's me, right? But what am I doing? Where I've done this shadow work, I've done all this dark night of the soul stuff. Sorry, this just like really not like I have the cards out. We're doing. It's just always general. Like, I don't really know where people are getting tripped up about that, because I'm pretty sure I put it in the chat rules where it's like, don't ask for a personal reading. All readings are, there's 4 people here. So we're just discussing stuff in regards to the shadow self, because we're doing Halloween Oracle. Yeah, it's okay. That's why I was trying to be nice, but sometimes I get sassy because it's like, how many times I gotta say that in a night is crazy. It's not your fault though. It's mine. I gotta make it even more clear or something. Probably make one of those little like videos so that people know how it works. Yeah. Yeah. Well, and this is all stemming from you, is what I'm saying, where it's like, if you miss this opportunity, then you probably weren't ready for it. But not everyone does get the chance in 5 years, 10 years, whatever it is. Like, when you start to get petty or play games or be, you already committed to something, and to back out is just like, what the fuck? And then she'll be thinking about that. She'll wonder what she did wrong. That you won't want to talk to her. You might even block her. She'll just cut off connection after you hyped up this whole thing. Like, you would be such an asshole, and most likely are being an egomaniac by assuming she would even go out of her way to plot against you in the slightest. You think you would just rather be single and ready to mingle while you're in the Balkans, baby. 23 years old. Maybe that's the whole thing, is you got to go there and tell her this ain't no vacation. You're here, I'm here, separate things. We can see each other, but I want to go see the world with my own eyes and not a pair. Okay? So, Skull of Stars, infinite possibilities, but you got to make it clear what your intentions are, or like whatever. But the message strongly for you, Pico. But right, if it resonates, take it. It's just general. There's like a handful of people here right now. We're dipping into the shadow self, and I'm trying to share aspects of my own shadow self just to make it more comfortable and easier to understand and even explain. But Skull of Flowers, creating through the ashes. Sometimes it's like the only thing you can do. I would think of Rent, right? The only way out is up, Elsie whispered. The leap of faith. Right. Ooh, only thing to do is jump over the moon. All right, so who are you? So I love that we have this invisibility card, which is authenticity. And I always say that this is about who you are behind closed doors, who you are when the clothes come off, who you are when no one's looking. And of course, it's the shadow self coming through. What do you actually think? What are you not saying in these scenarios? What are you keeping from people? What are your deepest, darkest thoughts? And deepest, darkest is in the furthest in. It's not inherently evil. Your deepest, darkest thoughts can be very pure, but they're very far in there. And sometimes the more outwardly angry or hateful someone is, the more pure, the deeper, darker stuff is, right? And sometimes people who throw the light have some of the most fucked up thoughts inside. So it's really like, when you look at your own shadow, it's not necessarily about a trope or a cliche or what you're expecting to see. Sometimes you see something very beautiful deep within you, but surrounding that energy or that innocence, you see a whole bunch of fuck shit. You see everything you've done wrong. You've seen every mistake you've made, every insult you've slung. Like, it's all just right in front of you. And at the core, you're like, I was so innocent, and I was so certain I was doing the right thing. I really did have good intentions. Where did I all go wrong? And then when you come out of that night, right, that dark, dark night of the soul, For me, I was crucified. We'll get into it in November. But I mean, it was terrifying, right? So, and at the end of the day, I'm like, was it a love spell or was I drugged? Like, what the fuck was that? I'm willing to talk it out if anybody else is, but Jesus fuck, man, I can only do so much. Can't just keep this shit to myself. It seems like a pretty serious thing. So, anyways, sing about it, create about it, write about it, do something about it, channel it, right? That's why I come on here. So once you come out of that night, you're still stuck with your shadow, and you're not going to heal in one night. You see it all, hopefully, in one night. So it's dark night of the soul. It can be a longer period than that. For me, there was like a month long, 2 weeks of everything good in the world and about myself, and 2 weeks of, yeah, but also all the bad things in the world and yourself. So what are you going to do? And then questioning whether or not I did have pure intentions, and then spending the years after, post-apocalyptic times, thinking, wow, maybe my intentions weren't so pure. Maybe my perception of purity is askew. Maybe my innocence is a personal opinion, even. Maybe I knew more than I thought I did. Skull of darkness, blind spots, but when you blindside yourself and realize I am as human as the people around me, if they weren't great, I must have not been so great either. And so you have to be able to want to work on yourself for change without succumbing to what is, because it is what always has been. And so you sit there and you're like, damn, okay, so they suck, but that means I suck if that was my suck fest, So what do? Do I drop everyone I've ever met and start over? A lot of people have the urge to do that, and that's exactly why. And if you do it in a way where you just kind of gotta go, or it's random, or I don't know, middle of the night energy, it's because you have no other means of letting go. Like, you can't do goodbye. You don't want to have to, but in your fucking soul it's the right thing to do, is to just leave, I'm trying to get a clear picture of what is specifically coming through here, because that's the thing. Yeah, man, that's where I'm from. Like, I am the goodness that you find in hell. Persephone made a damn deal. Title of my new book. Not written yet, but I'm working on it in the long ways. Hell yeah, my bloodline descended from Persephone, and that's why I gotta deal with PMDD. Instead of half the year, it's every half the month. Okay, thank you for that, I guess. These are heavy. I feel like people feel kind of hurt by some of the stuff that comes up in regards to the shadow self. So one thing I noticed, okay, and something that's basically what we were just saying, we as in me and the cards, sure, but something I have come to realize and actually tried to advise to someone this past year. Oh, okay. Have you ever seen that movie? It's really long, kind of boring, but in the end, I thought it was worth watching. So something I've been sharing this year, big lesson, is when you realize you've been surrounded by shitty people, you have to realize that you're a shitty person, right? But realizing you're a shitty person means you can actively work on being a better person, and that's what makes you good, is not being absolved from mistakes and being shitty sometimes and being an outright asshole. Everybody is at moments, and if they're not, they are in the back of their mind. Their deepest, darkest thoughts are the most insidious of them all, right? Because they're not exercising any of that in their life by staying calm and being happy all the time. So when you think of it in the sense of okay, some people, where was it? Some people will react. Wait, where was it? I just started thinking about Virgo men in the media who are known to be super chill and how they have really dark thoughts, and now I can't get it out of my head, and it's kind of like so funny, but it distracted me to the point where it's like Adam Sandler and Bill Murray are still alive. But I do wonder about that because they're known to be like these really stand-up cool guys, and it's like it sounds really sus to me. I trust it because they seem cool. I want to believe in them, but they're still Virgo men at the end of the day. Why is that on my mind? Has somebody else thought that? What were we talking about? It literally distracted me so hardcore, and it's so funny because they're alive. So why? It's not even like a channel message, right? Um, Being able to reckon with the self and realize that you've been shitty, and that's why you've attracted shitty people, right? Um, is a big step, and it's really hard to admit. It's really hard to do. It's hard to hold yourself accountable. It's hard to reflect and be like, damn, I fucked up and I kind of want to make it better, but I don't know. Um, I can't describe it. And I don't know why I keep scratching my nose, y'all. It's almost like I put a little bit of powder and makeup on it earlier, and now it's just driving me crazy. I've been noticing a lot in my streams lately where I'm not sneezy or anything. The cat's not over here, and it just randomly will get an itchy nose, like I just scratch, and then I'm like, maybe it's a little sunburnt actually. I've been walking around while the days are still nice, and then today, of course, it rained. So I was like, okay, maybe the weather broke, and it's finally not summer anymore. How sad. But oh, actually, it is kind of the equinox. Maybe we'll do something for that later. Anyways, some people would rather be oblivious to the fact that they're surrounded by mediocre or even shitty people than hold themselves accountable for the actions that drew these people towards them, is what I'm getting at. Sometimes it's hard to admit that someone is screwing you over or using you or harmful to you in some way because at the end of the day, they don't want to have to see that they were just like them, right? So that could be really hard. That could be really hard, especially like it's funny. I feel like one of the things for me is like I've had a lot of friends and like hang out with people for a little bit, and they're like, oh, I don't like this. And I think part of my lesson in that is not that I would mirror every single one of them. One, I deliver messages and I come to people when they need me. But two, I realize how much of myself I was giving to these relationships by having nothing in common with these people and allowing them to use me in a way that I felt was an equal exchange just to have people to hang out with and to go to parties. It's not. There is a separation process, and I think that recognizing it is a step in the right direction. And there is always room for the redemption. If you yourself want to change, then you have to believe the people around you can change too, because at the end of the day, if you are what you eat and you are who you keep, then if you believe in yourself, you should believe in the people around you. And if you can't believe in the people around you, then maybe you don't really believe in yourself, you know? But if it's a balance because you don't want to put too much faith in others. It's a balance, and it's like you'll know. And I think keeping them at arm's length is the least you can do for yourself, right? But separation is a process, and dynamics change, relationships change. You can do things and have things in life that are like come to pass, and yeah, I mean, gotta do what you gotta do, man. Especially if you can't get rid of them. If it's family, if it's coworkers, if it's, whatever, neighbors, like, what are you gonna do? It's not like I said earlier, I don't believe in keep your friends close and enemies closer, but I think you could keep your enemies at an arm's length and treasure your fucking friends, you know what I mean? But then I think about people close to me fucking screwing me over and making me feel terrible. And it's like, damn, are you my enemies? That's crazy. Plot twist I wouldn't expect. I'm a lover, man. I choose love over everything. And I choose blind ass faith. And I trust just about anyone. I'll give you a chance. Maybe even a second chance, third chance, whatever. And eventually it's like at some point I got to stop doing that for people that can't even reciprocate giving me a chance in some way or another, right? So it's like it's a really difficult balanced a master in a sense. Yeah. So it's hard to look at and analyze the shadow self because it is, like I said, not the dark parts of you, but maybe just the parts that you are hiding from the world. Scrying, intuition, and ghost regret. Okay. I gotta think about this. I'm kind of being caught. I feel like I'm not an expert in the subject of shadow work, but honestly, when I start to talk about what I went through, I think you'll all feel like I might be an expert in shadow work. So, seeing scrying intuition mixed with ghost regret is, I feel, once again very called to talk about personal experience, which is strange because I always felt like I should leave that out of my tarot readings, but also we do not want to farm a channel or a group of people who are dependent on tarot cards. So the conversation is just as crucial of a message as the tailor-made ones from the decks, is how I've seen it. I will study this for a moment. I'll get more insight. We're going to roll a quick ad and I'll be right back with more shadow stuff. We'll just see how it plays out, I guess. All right. What's happening? Happening. I'm back again. More incense, anyone? Me. Yes, please. Um, how we all doing? How we all doing? I have been. Oh, see, I asked someone else earlier. I was like, "Oh, did you get your birth chart?" And they're like, "No, not yet." And I was like, "Maybe it was you that was talking about that. Send it. This is a great time." I can't, if I drive too much tarot in the channel messages, and I know when I tell personal anecdotes, you wouldn't think that it would take energy, but sometimes when you're pulling from a place of like, one, like flashback kind of energy, and two, just if spirit's telling you to share it, then it's a spiritual experience, and therefore it's gonna tax in the same way as a spiritual discourse would. So sometimes I gotta pull back from the cards. Let's do some chart stuff. if you can or want to send your birth chart. I don't think you'll necessarily get roasted, but it's been known to happen. And it's a long, long way down. And it's a long, long way down. Dude, I had a feeling yesterday you were an Aquarius moon because we got along. And I may have even actually made a joke about you being Aquarius or Libra moon, right? Maybe that wasn't you. I can't remember. I'm an Aquarius moon also. And for some reason, this incense stopped burning at some point. So I'll light that later, I guess. Feels like I need to light it now, but I just lit an incense. All right. What about the rest of it, though? We like to see, like, the first 5 planets, really, or 6, maybe. All in a state of flux is true. You are not taking ownership on how toxic you are in your role in things, though, Pico. I do worry about that. You are a full-blown being, the very masculine that we shit about, but since you're here, you feel like it can't be me. It's not me. It's definitely the other person. But, honey, it's you. You're the male fire sign. You're definitely the masculine, and the masculines are fucking shit up. But hearing your perspective is interesting because you honestly have no idea it's you, right? Like, that's the whole thing. You would sell me on the fact that whatever, you're doing the right thing and you trust your gut, but then you say stuff and it's like, man, based on what the cards have said, I disagree. Okay, Mercury in Pisces, that's cute. Venus in Aquarius, lovely. Mars in Leo. Jupiter in Sagittarius, Saturn Pisces. Okay, so let's start with your Sun, Moon, and Rising. First of all, I'm not gonna sit here and say that you're fine as fuck, but I'm gonna sit here and guess that you're pretty fucking attractive. I'll just be honest, right? And I'll tell you why I say that. One, I always have found Aries men to be kind of hot, even though I don't really click with them. For example, actually, one of my, never mind, not going to go with a personal example, Adrian Brody. I have always been so attracted to Adrian Brody. He's so hot. Do I know anything about him as a person? No. Have I seen that many of his movies? No. Kind of. Darjeeling Limited, most recent. Rewatched it. Still kind of holds up. I actually did love it. Other than that, whatever. Lady Gaga, same thing. Am I really attracted to her? I don't know. Do I love her work? Yes. So, like, Aries have a hot factor of, like, don't know how I, like, hardcore feel about it, but Then you got Aquarius moon. Very altruistic, very humanitarian, as people would say. Very much cutie pies. Me, Kate Bush, Gillian Anderson, Britney Spears, Marilyn Monroe, my best friend, my brother. Aquarius moon's top placement to me. Like, I love that placement. And I'm hot as fuck. It might be the fact that my sun sign is ruled by Venus and my Scorpio is my rising, but I am very good looking. So people with aqua moons, I think, are attractive. And Virgo rising. So I just think that the average Virgo is so much more beautiful than the regular person. And there is something so beautiful about Virgo placements. Virgo moons, not really. Virgo faces, Virgo sun, Virgo rising. Exquisite. Some of the most beautiful people in my life that I've ever laid eyes on are like Virgos for some reason. So just betting you're beautiful. Sorry if that was too much. It probably was. I just literally went on a tangent. Your fucking icon is literally some anime character thing. Like, that's wasn't supposed to be so heavy. To see your Mercury in Pisces, I feel like Mercury is about communication. You probably communicate like shit, if I'm being honest. I don't even know. Avoid arguments and such. But Venus in Aquarius, probably not really much luck in the romance department, huh? And you never understand why your relationships don't work out because things seem to be going well. And then all of a sudden they're not. And you're like, huh. And they're like just so, it's such a funny placement to me. Mars and Leo would suggest that it's not that you hold grudges, but you're definitely willing to go down for a cause and die on a hill. Jupiter and Sagittarius, probably pretty hardcore because Jupiter is ruled by, Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, so your Jupiter being in Sagittarius gives you superpowers, basically. Not like really, really, but just superb energy, if you will. Saturn in Pisces is kind of like, oh, dream weaver. I don't know why I thought of that song. You're kind of. I would never go for an Aries sun ever again. I've tried too many times, probably. Still currently in love with one, and it's never gonna happen. Shit on my fucking brains, right? But oh well. The rest of your chart's looking fucking downright sexy, bro. Congrats. Cool. Anyways, off that, let's yeah, I'm like, no, be careful, you might get roasted. Then she started hitting on me. I don't even know. She read me like a book, and now I'm in love. I have t-shirts that say that. Lolly's Heartbreak Hotel. Yeah, no, I know. I'm ridiculous. I know I'm ridiculous. I'm also like, you know, ovulating and stuff. So it's like, of course, you sent me a dreamy ass fucking chart and I can't hold back. Can't even make fun of it. Because you might even write poems. I don't know if you share them with anybody though. I feel like you might low key write poetry. And the only times you have shared with someone were in your early days of poetry and they either like laughed about it, thought it was a joke, or like kind of like turned it down in some way where you never stopped writing poetry, but you stopped sharing it. That is like the art of your chart. Ooh, somebody pick a number 1 through 22. Try to make it a number that hasn't been picked already. Everybody tends to pick the same numbers. I'm going to read some poetry. Fair enough. Songwriting, anything along that. Something you secretly do, maybe like journaling. You like one time let somebody read something you wrote and then it was just a never again moment. Not sure. Is anybody going to pick a number? I'm trying really hard to be better at things. And I'm getting better all the time. I used to be a man. I was cruel to my woman. Blah, 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 blah. Ah, there you go. I knew it was something. God, I bet you were. Listen. So I'm gonna pick a number. How delayed is this chat scenario? My thing's messed up. The time's messed up on my. No, we did 19 last night. LOL. I forgot you were here for that. I'm like, and then it's like, oh my god, it takes forever to pick a damn number with you. Just give us a number. But it wouldn't be as authentic because I can kind of see what they are. And there's still so many. Maybe we didn't do 19, but we did 9? No, we did both 19 and 9, I think. No. Did we do number 9? Maybe it is time to see what we haven't read yet. No, there's still kind of a lot. Thanks. You're so cute. Look, I'm typing them. We have... We probably must have done 13, right? I'm looking at the titles, trying to remember. Yeah, we did that like last night, I think. Not 13. Why would I type that? We had 6. There's like a lot of numbers left. That's what I was trying to tell y'all. But it's funny because we just naturally pick the same numbers, it feels like. I guess there's not that many left, but that seems like a lot that we didn't do already, right? And everyone just naturally gravitates towards the 7, 9, 11, 8, you know? Typical. That's what we got left. I used to be angry, oh man. Getting better all the time. Okay, 21 it is. I've read this over the years, you know, because it's old, but I'm going to turn this up too. At number 21, I got caught up reading the other day. I was like, damn, I actually do really like this. It's creepy, but I like it. And I decided to not finish it because I didn't want to remember how I ended it because I wanted it to be more authentic when we finally got to this. But I was kind of like, not impressed isn't the right word. But I remember I wrote this, it was 2012. I was probably like 21 then, right? No, I must have been 20, hardcore 20. Dealing with some pretty traumatic stuff that maybe we'll get into someday, but not yet, or probably ever. Oh, I forgot to read the title. The Mad Hattress develops a stranger condition. I'm not one to judge, you know me, the Mad Hattress spoke with sympathy. But there's just something. I don't know. You don't understand. I know, they console. You're just different. Different's a word. The only one to use for a gathering herd. They laugh because laughing always feels better than thinking, and thinking leads to them straight to drinking, and they think she's the mad one. More like discontent. Maybe I'm spent. If you only knew what it felt like to be fooled by the devil, you could maybe know what it feels like to think you see him again because when you play him you never win. Bless me, Father, for I have sinned. A chance perhaps to see the mark once more, but no less. 'Tis there, and the hattress on the floor, his eyes like black holes of empty space to give him the old look on a new face. You should be nice. He seems like a good guy. So did he. Just because it sells, don't mean I buy. She felt guilty for feeling like this about a stranger, but she never felt like this about her friend until the very bloody end. Now she'll always think twice. Oh, Christ. We are not all the same, but you two could be. This is an end she'd rather not see. She can play nice with a smile and try not to pout, but the dark cloud gives hope doubt. She must get out. The hattress sighs, the hattress cries. I'm telling you, as her eyes shifted from side to side, I'm not gonna be here much longer. Haha, sure. That's what we all say. No. You don't understand. Her face contorted with a confused frustration, eyes out of control and hands high in motion. My body has legs, but my mind has wings. I don't always feel a need to fly. Sometimes I don't even get it here to let it leave. Like I wake up and my brain has already flown away. I'd rather it happen this way because experiencing the countdown is so stressing, you know? Like, you know, you're leaving and even if you don't want to go anywhere, you can't stop it. It's like trying to stop a rocket going into space. You can ask it nicely to stop, but there are a few forces stronger than rocket fuel. I mean, that launch makes the force of the fuel stronger than the force of gravity, right? I suppose in theory, maybe. Well, her eyes lead the rest of her down to the floor. It's like that. It's like the rocket fuel, unstoppable, like a ship to the moon, unimaginable. The mind cannot fly to space, but it can be launched there. I can't stop it. Her crazed inflections vanished as were replaced with whispers, but with tears swelling in her eyes, unable and not attempting to hide a single one from a single person or thing or idea, because it was all real to her, so real. She felt everything, and everything can't be all good because then it wouldn't be everything. She felt overjoyed to feel what things feels at all, what things feels at all, but it hurt her to feel the pain of nothing, so much suffering without a struggle because nothing could ever be something. I think if it reaches space, almost inaudibly she whispered. Silently, yet so clearly she sobbed. I don't think it will ever come back. Dun dun dun! I don't know. Took a turn at the end I didn't love. I didn't read that second page the first time I read it when I was like, I thought it was pretty good. I think the first half we had it, and the second half was like, it kind of went a little too far and got a little too repetitive, but that's also the point of that mindset. So anything with the Mad Hattress in the title is gonna be like that, right? I guess that's what I used to call my PMDD before I had the Tyler Durden analogy. How we doing tonight? I didn't like that. Roll ad. Thank you. I agree. Thank you. It is prose, definitely prose. And I think it's interesting that with my writing, I tend to rhyme regardless. So that it does, that's why, I don't know, it does kind of come out like poetry, where it's written like a story, and the conversation dialogue makes it a story, and the whole structure of it is a story, but then the rhyme scheme within the lines to me is what makes my writing as unique as it does, I guess. But I also feel like the rhyming is mental illness. Like, I don't know how to explain. Like, maybe whatever it is, I got Alice in Wonderland shit going on because things are real weird. Um, yeah, yeah. I've always liked prose. I love writing, and I've had writer's block, and I was just talking about how maybe the whole point is not to write a book, but to just talk about it on stream. And then I was listening to a reading, I think it was tonight, like right before I started this, and it was like, yo, writing a book will be the most helpful thing you can do. And I'm like, fuck yeah, duh, that's the whole thing. As I wrote a book once, I have to write another book in order to like completely close out this cycle, you know? Fuck sake. It's annoying. I can't just talk about it. It has to be in writing, just as the same was before. I used to be angry old man. I just get that one start stuck in my head. Yeah, but I think even with an audiobook, I'd have to definitely write it down first. So same shit, you know. I couldn't just turn the audiobook a stream into an audiobook necessarily, right? So okay, if I can't stop singing this stupid fucking Beatles song, should we just see what John Lennon wants? I used to be cruel to my woman, I hurt her so bad, I wish I was her dad. I must admit it's getting better all the time. It's not even Libra season yet, though. I'm not trying to give him the floor too quickly. He'll be making himself very apparent and being very central to the conversation next month. So but what's good, y'all? I might just call it an early night. I forgot I gotta do the personal reading. It's gonna be a whole thing. How are we feeling? Do we want to switch decks? It's not that I'm over it, but energetically, I might be frying myself with the whole tarot stuff. I might be streaming it too much. I think it's better when I break it up with like a makeup stream, an art stream, just chatting, you know. And lately, it's just been all tarot, and I probably need to, you know. And I also think my makeup might be making my face itch. Time to get some new shit, right? What's up, though? I got these 3 cards here. Any requests? I might go. I don't know, it just came over me where it was like, I think this might be the end of the night. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I just think we're good. I think we got the messages we were going to get tonight. Kind of slow. It's a weekday. I can get up earlier the earlier I end my stream. So I think this will be a good call at point. As I have some stuff to do as the night continues. So let me read these last 3 cards, and then I'll be off for the evening. We've got Owl, wise seeing, wise action. Make sure the people that you are with are people that you want to be like, and not vice versa, where you're surrounded by a bunch of people and you're thinking, wow, I hate the way they live, or why do they do that? I don't want to be like them. Don't be around them then. Don't watch, don't look, ignore it. If you start surrounding yourself with people who align with your purpose and see you for the divine being that you are or who you are in this present moment, instead of holding on to, say, past versions of you, then surround yourself with them. People you look up to, people you even idolize in a sense. That's who you want to fucking be around. And if you don't like who they are at the core, then you move on to find those who do align with your core values and whatnot. Got the witch, the earthly weaver of the worlds. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to become very important over these next couple months. And I am saying that in terms of being called to say it via spirit. We are doing Halloween Oracle, channeled from the deceased, shadow work. I'm going to tell you right now, if you are watching this, I am going to become very important in these next couple months. What importance means to you is up to you, and I'm not here to dictate what I mean by that because I'm not really sure what it means. I feel like that is hard to fathom. However, when it comes to shadow work, I'm your girl. When it comes to spooky season, I'm your guy. So, of course, I'm the they, them that you want to be near for the next 2 months. Libra season, much will be revealed to us. I will probably be the one revealing it, most likely. But I have a feeling things are going to be revealed to me, and that's where the importance comes from, where I'll be delivering. Yeah. Delivering what? Ugh. Anyways, Earthly Weaver of the Worlds, that's me. I feel like I'm bringing a lot into this reality, and it's like art, it's creation, it's connection, it's familial, it's like getting the fucking gang back together energy lately. And that's the thing where it's like maybe half the gang's dead or whatever, but I'm weaving those worlds, and that's where it's like I will become very important. Whether you need to come back for your shadow work, whether you have a message to be heard, whether you need to talk to these demons, these angels, what have you, I'm going to be very important to you in the next 2 months. Promise you that. Don't care how many people watch this. Don't care who sees it, right? Don't care if it's just you 4 people or if there's a replay. It doesn't matter when you get this message. It is that. It is that. It's just, there's something that comes up and it'll all make sense once we dive in. So do consider a personal reading if you're into this. It's not even that I'll take time off streaming tarot, but there could be a little bit of a small break because spooky season, I get so into it that I might have to take some time off tarot, and we can still catch up and stream and talk like we do, but I might just need to maybe even take a break from streaming for a couple days a week just to kind of clear it up. But we will do why would you say that? Where's your energy, Tico? We need to get your shit aligned, okay? We gotta figure you out. We are gonna figure you out. We gotta figure you out. So, just remember that. Just when you got problems, come to me, man. It does feel like October. We're really rushing. We're really rushing the start of this Libra season. And then we have Her with Happiness in Our Hearts and Homes. So it's going to be about staying home. We're not going to raves. That's the thing. If somebody's about to get drugged, then stay home, right? Like, don't go out and do the drugging either. The happier you are where you're at, the better places you will be. The happier you are where you're at, the better places you will be, okay? Yeah, dude. Lately, I haven't been remembering my dreams. I know I'm dreaming, and I will be so in it. And the second I wake up, whoop, and that's how I know there's some serious dreams that I'm forgetting because, oh, they're probably not even my dreams. It's stuff that I am subconsciously supposed to know and consciously not allowed to know. That's what I think it is lately, because usually I remember my dreams, and if I wake up, I can fall back asleep, finish it out, or recall it, and wake back up and go about my day. Fuck yeah, that's how I met him. Oh my god. Listen, I kind of want to tell you this story, but that would be very revealing if you knew anything about my history or looked into me for even fucking 20 seconds. But it came to me in a dream. It wasn't the first time I, whatever. And like I get, it's maybe not as serious as Twin Flame, but honestly, it's been a long time, and I come back to it like, damn, yeah, I was a fuck boy. I should definitely see it, And part of me wonders if like putting it on blast is the whole point, but I would never want to do that. But that's why I'm like, damn, I do need to write a book, because the first time I did put someone on blast in a book, didn't know them at all, didn't think it was a twin flame connection whatsoever, embarrassed both of us pretty badly probably, but him less so than me, because I had nothing and he could walk away like it was nothing. And yet instead it was this whole years long back and forth, number 3, like weird stuff, whatever, a lot of stories come back, and I'm like, what the fuck? And I thought there was some secret stuff going on. I think it just was always supposed to be obvious, and I'm a fucking dumbass sometimes. But yeah, the dreams were kind of what it was making me crazy, because even months would go by, years would go by, we would not see each other or speak. I'd be like, nothing to do with it. Completely let it go, rebuilt a life. Just was like, I was wrong. I'm an idiot in 12 different ways, right? Completely let it go. Would even craft around it in a sense of just like removing it, and I would still have dreams, and then I'd wake up and be kind of pissed off, irritated, like, why the fuck are you still talking about? Why are you thinking about? Why is this coming up in my dreams? My subconscious? I'd like to see where, please, because if somebody's smacking me in the fucking skull with a crystal, that sounds like you're doing witchcraft, not me. What the fuck is this about? And I knew nothing. I still know nothing. Now it's all making a little more sense in retrospect. Like I said, I don't think it was ever meant to be subtle. I think it was always very obvious. And the fact that I didn't catch a hint or be so rude in my rejection of just being an all-around terrible person to be around was very confusing for everyone involved, I'm sure. And it involved a lot of people. And I think a lot of people ended up in regret because the union didn't come to pass, and then other unions did. And now still, whatever. None of my business what anybody's doing, including me. But it's curiosity at this point. It started before the retrograde. It started for me in April when I started to think about the 10-year reunion of my soul and who was really there throughout the years. And it turned out to be a lot of people that I maybe thought were not who I thought they were, in a sense. And maybe also the opposite of that. So, gosh, why did you have to ask me that question? You really triggered a lot of thought, a lot of, especially because now I feel like my soul's been thrown into another connection where I just assumed it must be a karmic because I was seeing a comparison between that previous twin flame experience and this newer person feeling the same effects but in reverse, where like I was giving what he was giving but now he's giving what I was giving, and it was like, oh my god, karmic realization, I fucked up. Like, I'm an asshole. How did I not understand? Like, I really felt like a dope. Um, it does sound karmic, but then what's really weird is the twin flame situation literally has never gone anywhere, and it is very much